In my biggest social experiment yet, I put 100 Minecraft players in a zombie-infested city. Their only goals were to survive the horrors of the city and await a rescue that would come eventually. These players were given no help or guidance, and just like in real life, if you die, you remain dead forever. This event ended up having one of the most entertaining story arcs I've ever seen. You do not want to miss this one. I present to you the Zombie Apocalypse Experiment. Don't forget, if you'd like to participate in these videos, join my Discord down in the description and subscribe to my channel. At the start of day 1, all players found themselves in an underground bunker. This bunker contained valuable resources like food and tools that the players would need to survive.
Wait, let me get some stuff.
Idiots.
But rather than stay in the bunker where they would be safe, most players quickly rushed to find the exit and explore the infested city. The people left in the bunker somehow got themselves lost and struggled to find the way out.
Want to get out of here? Yeah, how do we leave?
Where's the way out again?
Where's the exit?
I got a pickaxe.
Where's the exit?
Well, I'm sure they'll find it eventually. Those who left the bunker quickly searched the area for more resources. Some took a risk and explored the city while others took more conventional approaches. The city was definitely high risk, high reward. The loot was plentiful, but consequences of a mutated virus plagued the streets.
Sorry, if I'm gonna... Oh god, yep, not good, not good, not good, bad, zombie.
Those without the tools and skills necessary to venture any further decided to work on bases and fortifications. They well predicted that they would need places to protect and defend themselves later on, but rather than staying in one big group, the players split into several different teams. These teams all agreed they would help each other in times of need, but operated independently. They had formed a political system similar to the city-states in ancient Greece. Those who didn't align with anyone were viewed as outlaws. Those players for the most part stayed separated from the rest. Back near the bunker, a group of players had created a national food chain restaurant they called Mickey D's.
Can I get a Whopper?
What would you like to order?
Can I get a Whopper?
We don't think we serve those here.
Well, let's just hope this place can survive what's to come. On the other side of the map, one of the teams found a stash of iron blocks. Some of the players acted selflessly and spread word to others so they could partake in the riches themselves. But other players were more greedy and quickly devoured every last bit of iron. As expected, I guess. As the civilizations grew in size and population, a troubling problem started to plague them. There just wasn't enough food to go around, and to make matters worse, a world famine had begun. The zombie virus, once only affecting the players, was now spreading to the local livestock. The animals were becoming zombies of their own, and when killed, dropped useless items.
What? I'm not taking chances. What if something does happen? Like, oh, that's stupid.
Their economy, once so heavily dependent on meat, now had to find other means necessary to feed their populations. Small farms began to spring up, as well as protected areas to keep the virus away from the animals. But sadly, some players, mostly outlaws, couldn't find what they needed, and with the city-states keeping them away, we had our first deaths of the day. As the day drove on, I was starting to become very interested in the relationship between the city-states and the outlaws. After the famine, there was a tension in the air that you could almost feel. During what is now called the Days of Prosperity, the city dwellers and the wanderers coexisted and respected the other's space. But that had all changed when the famine hit. The outlaws had come to the city-states looking for help and assistance. but they had been brutally rejected. A sense of hatred towards the other was beginning to grow. If both parties happened to meet each other, the greetings were not at all polite. One of the outlaws named Dirtle, who considered himself to be the king of the outcasts, was the one who would spark the tension. He thought it was only fair that those living under city-state rule should pay in wealth for the lives of those lost. Not caring if it was ethical or not, he planned to rob players traveling between groups.
Hey, listen, I'm not gonna kill you. I'll give you these dragon heads if you give me those boots. I can easily kill you now.
Fine, I'll give you boots to the dragon. Get down here.
I don't trust you. First, drop the boots. Okay? You're not getting just dragon heads. Goodbye.
Fine, rob me out here.
Bye.
Giddy after his robbing success, the outlaw Dirtle went to find another victim, not understanding the outcomes of what he had just done. The citizen he had just robbed was furious, and rather than taking the information to the guard, he took matters into his own hands. Taking out his dagger, he rushed after the outlaw, hoping to put an end to him. Dirtle had just found another victim and was in the process of blackmailing him.
Yo, Preston, my guy. You have 5 seconds to give me some of that stuff.
When out of nowhere, the previous player appeared. Seeing that his friend was in danger, he shouted at him to run and engaged Dirtle. It was at that moment that the spark became a flame. Word quickly spread that the outlaw Dirtle had killed a civilian in cold blood. An emergency meeting was called between the city-states on what to do. Friends of the one that was killed protested and called for Dirtle's head. And Dirtle, well, he realized what he had done and decided there was no turning back. In one of the quickest escalations I've ever seen, the city-states agreed to send 2 of their elite guards in a mission to track down the outlaw Dirtle and put an end to him. Upon finding this information, Dirtle quickly scrambled any resources he had and ran for his life. But even he knew it would only prolong the inevitable.
Oh dang, there's a fight going on.
The battle, turning into an unbelievable stalemate, abruptly stopped. A world event known as the Blood Moon had begun. The zombies, being of little consequence on the first day, struck out on the human world. The city-states were caught completely off guard as they were focused on the outlaw situation. Calling it a big problem would be an understatement. It was the destruction of the whole civilization. While civilization was crumbling, Dirtle took the chaos and turned it into an advantage. Both of the elite guards had gotten separated when the zombie struck, and well, Dirtle, once the hunted, turned into the hunter.
How are you not dead? Can I just ask that real quick? I was about to say. GG. Bro, listen. Me and you, how long have we known each other? Bart, I just don't want to talk. I'm gonna be honest, I don't actually want to kill you. Like, I want to spare you, but this is okay.
Okay. How you want to call?
Dirtle, having slain his foe, celebrated this victory, but it would be short-lived. As the Blood Moon ended, the remaining survivors didn't care about the political and social situations the previous regime had pursued. They were just focused on survival. Except one. Meet Curry. After the death of his best friend, angry would be an understatement. This guy was livid. In the shadows, he had pushed for the movement of Dirtle's demise and other outlaws. This guy went so far that he even created a journal on how he would take revenge. He told me he wouldn't stop until Dirtle ceased to exist.
He's completely bogus. I'll kill him.
Oh my god.
He came across as like a funny guy, you know, like a good leader. I need aid, bro. This man has been terrorizing my whole team.
Not trusting that only a couple of guards could take down the outlaw, he hired an assassin. This assassin was one of the most powerful people containing resources no one else had. Even after the collapse of civilization, he still remembered his promise. It was only a matter of time before he tracked down Dirtle.
Okay? You didn't regret that. Oh, I do. You killed my friend. Oh, you killed my friend. Okay? And you didn't regret that. You didn't regret killing my best friend. You killed my only teammate. There, bro.
In what a few players would describe to me later on, it was almost as if an eerie silence had captured the world. The outlaw had been defeated and those left celebrated, though they were few. But one player turned to sadness and longing rather than the opposite. His mission had been completed, and he was ready to join his friends.
I've been thinking about this for a while. I've pretty much lost everything I've ever had at this point. My stuff is gone, my home was overrun, and most importantly, my teammates were killed. And the only thing I want now is to end the man who did it all, Dirtle. And now that he's gone, I can finally rest and join my team and the countless others who died at his hands. Good luck to anyone who's still left, and we will watch over you.
Day 3 began solemnly. With not many left, the players were unorganized and just focusing on themselves. But in a fruitful turn of events, a couple players, one of them being the assassin, had organized a safe haven and invited all remaining players to come. This seemed to revive other players' spirits as they made their way over. A final coalition was about to take place. Until it seemed like their luck ran out. Zombies emerging from the forest began to swarm the players. It was like they knew what was happening but did everything in their power to prevent it.
Oh, go back, Dad.
Run! Greed! Please! Don't die!
Run! Run!
I'm gonna die! I'm one heart! Run!
Only one. That was all that remained after the players of this attack. Alone and afraid, the player named Only Green was left to traverse the wilderness. There seemed to be no hope. Any attempts to improve their situation had been thwarted. If it were any other player, the isolation would have been too much. But it was at that moment, when all hope seemed lost. It was then that the tide turned once again. Green wasn't the only one alive. One other player who had managed to survive the chaos quickly contacted Green. When they met, it was like a joyous reunion.
Green, us versus the world, man.
Hell yeah.
I got two lovers against. Wait, hold on.
But these players knew hardships were still to come. In the last collaboration of the experiment, they worked on fortifying a base. Upon finishing their base, something unexpected happened.
Wait.
What does
Wait.
that mean?
Oh wait, isn't that me? Wait, isn't that our escape? Run. We gotta run. That's where we gotta go. We gotta run.
The military was announcing evacuation cords for any remaining survivors. With only a limited time until the military left, the players needed to run. And run they did.
How's that in this? Hello?
Hello. Hey. Man, I see it. I see something. No, I'm too far. We're too far from it. It's 900. I still have more than 600 blocks to go.
They had made it. In an unlikely partnership, the sole survivors had pushed through. The zombies would die out eventually, and perhaps humanity could return to the island. Much pain, anger, and suffering occurred, but also friendship, joy, and perseverance. Hopefully, future inhabitants will learn. While the lives of our characters don't end here, our story does. If there's anything you can learn from this experiment, it's that good endings do happen, no matter the size.